My name is Paulette Piñero. I am born and raised in Puerto Rico. I have to say that. If I tell you're from Puerto Rico, that means I already like you. And I am the owner of Lead Media LLC, and I empower Latina professionals to go from burned out to thriving in their careers and business. So I do what I love every single day. My story always starts with my abuela, my abuela Tita. She spent her life in the public sector, and the day that she decided to retire, she launched a nonprofit. So I grew up with my abuelas, with my grandmothers, and part of growing up was always doing, whether it was community service or helping my grandma with her nonprofit. Social impact and service was something that was embedded in the way I grew up. So at a very young age, I was involved with nonprofit organizations, doing board work and fundraising at 11, 12 years old. But as I grew older and older, one of the biggest things that happened to me is that I always thought I wanted to be a computer engineer. And I got accepted to an accelerated program. And the day I got there in the summer, I was the only woman in the group of a room full of men, 42 men and me. So I realized that it didn't matter how much social impact work I did with a nonprofit, there was a calling of I never want any other young woman, I don't want any other woman of color like myself be the only woman in the room. So I kind of married that passion for social impact with my family, my abuelas had taught me, and I went from saying that I wanted to study technology to going into social work. And I had a very wonderful career working with communities, older adults, and students in the nonprofit field. And as I developed, what excited me the most about going to work, it was the mission and the vision, of course, but it was mentoring and coaching my staff, the Latinas, the women of color in my staff, to thrive. And one of the things that I used to do, sorry to my old bosses, was train my staff to have salary negotiation discussions before their performance reviews. So my team was the highest paid team always. That also meant that I was always managing the most diverse teams in the companies that I work with. So I've made empowering women of color my career because I know what it is to not have that. Even with strong female models in my life, I was just tired of the calladita te ves más bonita, you know, you look prettier when you're quiet. It's very difficult for me to be quiet. So I didn't want other women and other Latinas to have to go through the same thing because I know how it feels. And I have a daughter and she is not like that. So it's my job to also create the world and the environment for her to just be her full self. Sophia through and through. What goals have you been working on since our last chat?
Yeah, so we have a few projects lined up and I'm super excited. The first one that I am working on is a Latina career fair. I think we've seen a lot of people saying that they're still jobless or that they're job hunting. And we keep on seeing the same posts up and up, whether it's in Indeed, Glassdoor, etc. And so, talking along, we've just decided, let's see how this is going to work. We want to do it virtually, and we're hoping that hopefully it can launch off in February. Also working on a summit to take place in the spring that will also be virtual, and it's going to be how to have your dream be converted into your dream business. So that's going to be a lot of fun because it's taking entrepreneurs that are super baby entrepreneurs, don't even know that they have the capability of being entrepreneurs, and letting them know, hey, you can do this. You can still have a 9 to 5 and be a business owner.
Research shows then when women have access to wealth, they reinvest in their communities. So part of what I do is not just empowering women to get the job and business that they want, it's also to get paid handsomely for it. Because when women have access to money, when women are able to build wealth, they reinvest in their communities. They provide funding for nonprofit organizations. They take action from the local level to the national level. So empowering women, it's about changing their mindset to abundance, that it's okay to build wealth, that it's okay to have security for themselves and their family, but also for them to just prioritize joy. Women deserve to prioritize joy and have peace of mind. I understand hustle culture. We're all hustling here. I hustle all the time. I'm a business owner. But I hustle because I have goals and I want to have joy. I want to go on vacation. I want to be happy. And when I am happy, my family's happy and my community gets better. So that's why to me it's so important to focus on women, to focus on supporting and empowering and helping women of color thrive. Because I know that the impact is not just for themselves, it's a systemic impact. And part of dismantling systemic oppression is making sure that the folks that are part of the system and the most marginalized communities have the basic resources to be able to show up. We can advocate, we can change our environment if we don't have our basic needs met. And part of having our basic needs met is having access to wealth. So that's why I love what I do. That's, to me, it's why it's so powerful and so important for women of color to have supports, but also be able to work with women that look like them and understand where they're coming from. It's something very different when you can sit down with someone who understands you, not just as a woman, but as part of a community or part of different communities, and then be able to come together for a plan for themselves and their families. I want to thank Chica Project for allowing me to be part of this amazing group. Not only do I get to empower and support young women, but I'm able to connect with amazing mentors in my community. I get to live out my professional and personal values every day through the work that you allow me to do. Not only do I get to support this organization through my volunteer work, I get to connect this organization with other Latinas, with other women of color who are ready to step up to the plate and mentor young women. So thank you so much for showing me the way, for showing me how to be a great mentor, for showing me how to be a steward of what I do in my business with any young women that crosses my path. And thank you for reminding me that I can never succeed without sharing the value and my knowledge with others. Again, thank you, Chica Project. You and me have a mentor for life.